And Donald Trump is with us now by phone. Mr. Trump, good morning to you.
Good morning, Savannah.
We'll talk about SNL in a moment, but let's talk about your new ads. They're just out this morning. I'm assuming that you would not waste your money on ads if you didn't feel you needed to. Does this show that you're feeling the heat, that the race is tightening?
I don't think so. I mean, Fox came out with their poll last night, a big one, and I was substantially in the lead, and I'm leading in almost every poll. But I will tell you, I've had heat because I haven't spent any money. It would be nice if the country could do that, Savannah. I've spent no money, and I'm number one. Other people have spent tens of millions of dollars, and they're floundering and doing poorly. So it would be nice, honestly, wouldn't it be nice if we could do that with education, where, frankly, we spend more per pupil than any country in the world, and we're in 28th place. So, no, I wanted to do the ads. I'm putting them in Iowa, in South Carolina, in New Hampshire, and, you know, hopefully they're going to be good ads. And it's time for me to start advertising a little bit.
Ben Carson has a lot of momentum in these polls. He tops some of them. You top others. He says your attacks on him are basically grade school bullying and suggests it's beneath him.
Well, he's referring to the Saturday Night Live, and he said he would never do it. But, of course, he would do it. They didn't ask him to do it. And, you know, Saturday Night Live is a special thing. It's like being on 60 Minutes. I was on 60 Minutes a month ago. There are certain iconic brands, iconic things, and he would certainly do it if he was asked. I mean, every president probably that you can think of, and many of the candidates have done it. But I don't think they'll ask him. But I know if they did ask him, he would do it.
Let me ask you about that. As you are perfectly aware, there's Latino groups that are outside protesting NBC and SNL because you are hosting this weekend. Are you surprised that SNL asked you to host after there was this acrimonious split with NBC back in the summer, and why did you accept?
Well, it wasn't so acrimonious. The Apprentice, as you know, they renewed it with me for 28 sessions, and they wanted to do it, but I decided I wanted to run for president. I want to make the country great again. I told Steve Burke, who's a fantastic guy at Comcast, and I said, you know, I'm going to run. But they renewed The Apprentice, and they renewed it with me, but I decided I just couldn't do it because of the equal time. I couldn't do it. The Miss Universe, there was a problem, to be honest, and I ended up buying their interest, and then I sold it to IMG, the whole thing, and it worked out amazingly well for me. So, you know, and there's no problem whatsoever with NBC. Now, the reason they put me there is one very simple reason. It's called ratings. I get good ratings. If I didn't get ratings, they wouldn't put me there.
You were critical just as recently as this morning of Marco Rubio and his handling of his own finances, suggesting that the way he's handled his own personal finances perhaps is a good way to determine how he might handle the country's finances. My question to you is, does that invite scrutiny of your own business record? You've talked about using the bankruptcy laws strategically in the past, but here's the bottom line. If a company is doing well, is healthy, is robust financially, why do you even need to use the bankruptcy laws?
Well, I'm no different than many of the people that you have on your show, the biggest business leaders in the world. We all do. We use the laws of the land. I've had 500 companies of different kinds, and over the years I've used it 3 or 4 times, as has, I could name people, but why should I name them? But you have the list. Virtually everybody that you write about has used those laws over the years corporately. I never went bankrupt, but corporately. And frankly, I've made a lot of money using those laws. And I've also bought a lot of things out of bankruptcies, where I go in and I pick out things in bankruptcies, and I end up buying, you know, tremendous pieces of land, tremendous assets out of bankruptcy. So I've used the bankruptcy laws, which are the laws of the land, for, you know, corporately, as have, I could name the biggest names in business, and they've almost all used them. And, you know, I mean, so I have had no backlash on that. As far as the rest, I built an unbelievable company with some of the great assets of the world, and everybody knows that. I made my filings, and everybody was shocked at how big it is. They didn't think it was as big as it is, and they were shocked at how incredible the company itself is. And so I'm very honored by it. I've been a public book. You know, you've been covering me. Savannah, you and Matt have been covering me for a long time. I've been a public book.
We have indeed. And Mr. Trump, we'll see you in a different role this Saturday on Saturday Night Live. Thanks for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Savannah.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.